We're gonna come here because they want to play and they want to win.
Philly. I just
Like two chicken fillets, two fillets. Jay, two Chick-fil-A's.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
What's up, guys? We're back for another episode of the Big Cat Chat podcast. Free agency has begun, and unlike last year, we're actually having fun this time. I'm having a pretty good time, at least. I think we all are. Unless you're a penny pincher, then you're probably not having a fun time. But
hide the money, y'all. It's poor people around.
oh my gosh, we went from budget bulky to big bags bulky.
Big bucks.
Big bags, big bucks.
Big same baller point. Bulky.
Big baller bulky. It's all the same point. You get it now. It's funny because the Jags literally, the NFL might, like other NFL teams probably hate Trent Baalke even more now because he just absolutely screwed the receiver market.
NFL's gonna try to penalize us for this. Watch.
They're gonna take. You know how we haven't had how we haven't gotten a compensation pick in 15 years.
A compensatory pick.
Compensatory pick. That's the word I was looking for. We haven't gotten one of those in 15 years. They're gonna take away a third-round pick now.
Oh, fuck that.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with just a lot of NFL news. First things first. The Titans re-signed Harold Landry to a 5-year, $87.5 million deal with $52.5 million guaranteed. How much money are they spending on Bud Dupree and Harold Landry?
A lot.
A lot. Because I think Bud Dupree got like $90 million last year.
Didn't they do that deal like right after we finished our last podcast?
Harold Landry, yes.
Yeah, we were like, because you were like, I would love to get Harold Landry, and then like,
and then they re-signed him literally like 30 minutes later. So they have 87.5. I'm gonna say 90 flat for Bud Dupree, and then plus 90. That's $177.5 million between two players, and one of them is kind of mid. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but they're probably not gonna steal that money anyway.
Probably. The Seahawks, we talked about them. This was also something that happened on the same day. They traded Russell Wilson. We talked about that last week. Well, they later that night at like 10 o'clock, they released Bobby Wagner. He is not signed yet, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. But he still can play, so whoever gets him is going to get a good player. I know a ton of teams are interested. I know Russell Wilson's trying to recruit him, but
he'll probably go to a contender.
Probably.
He's old.
Win another chip. Was he older there when they won their chip? It was.
Yeah. He's like 31 years old. He's been there for like 10 years, bro.
I thought so. Yeah, he was there. He got there the same day as Russell Wilson, and they left on the same day as well. All right. The Colts traded Carson Wentz and a second-round pick to Washington for 2/3 and a second. So they swapped second-round picks. And the second round. Well, they didn't swap second round picks because one of the second round picks is next year. But Washington sent two. Washington was desperate. Like what?
Yeah.
How did? I know it's funny because everybody was praising Chris Ballard for getting what he did for Carson Wentz, as if he didn't. It's just like when we signed Nick Foles. Like people were praising Dave Caldwell for getting a fourth for Nick Foles, as if he didn't also pay Nick Foles that money, even though that was kind of. Yeah. You get the point, though.
That was Tom Coughlin, bro.
That was Tom Coughlin. But it's like, I don't know how they got that value. Washington is insanely desperate, but
I don't. He doesn't move the needle for me. It's like that much. He's not that much better, if he is at all, than Heineke, in my opinion.
Exactly. I mean, they both throw the ball around a little risky sometimes. So
yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one.
Carson Wentz probably has more physical talent, but
yeah,
doesn't matter. His mechanics suck. But yeah, the Colts are one and done with Carson Wentz. This is going to be their 6th straight year, I think, with a different starting quarterback.
I think it's their 5th.
5th or 6th. If you go back, Andrew Luck will be like 2 years, but there will be somebody in between because Andrew Luck was hurt 1 year. Unreal. Imagine being a Colts fan. Like, they literally, if the Colts knew how to get a proper quarterback, they'd be good. They were handed Andrew Luck, and they messed that up with all the poor protection until it was too late.
Yeah.
They were handed Peyton Manning. Outside of that, who?
Nobody.
Let's see what they do this year. I hope they trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, as they're rumored to be interested in.
Or Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, yeah, he sucks too. So either way, Colts fans are gonna cope. I remember last year when Carson Wentz got traded, everybody was like, Carson Wentz is gonna have a breakout year. They're gonna go to the playoffs, this and that, and it's like all because of the offensive line the Colts had. It's like he just sucks.
I mean, statistically, he didn't do bad. He just shit the bed against the Jaguars.
I mean,
which ultimately probably got him fired.
The stats were a bit misleading because I feel like there were so many throws that Carson Wentz just got lucky on. Like he instead of getting a sack, he just kind of throw it up, and it like there'd just be no defender around, but it'd be a super reckless throw. I feel like he did
I ultimately think him losing to the Jaguars and missing the playoffs is what
that was why he got traded. But I also think he didn't. I think
had they won that game and he got to the playoffs, he'd still be the quarterback
easily. But I
think Jim Irsay was like, "No, you got to go, dog. Get him out of here."
They'd be screwed either way, whether they kept him or not. You know what? It makes me even more mad, though? That shows me, as a Jags fan, mad at least. And shows how desperate Washington was. Washington took the entire contract.
Yeah.
They took the entire contract, sent 2/3, and did that second-round pick kind of swap thing. It's like, what? I don't know.
Not my problem.
It's not my problem, but Colts will forever and ever have a good quarterback. Then to continue there was like a 4-day period where there was just bomb after bomb going on. Khalil Mack got traded from the Bears to the Chargers for a 2nd-round pick and a 6th-round pick. That's it.
I would have done that all day long.
I would have as well. So think about this. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa are in the same defensive line rushing alongside each other.
Yep.
Let's just say Jordan Davis is there at 17, and they pick him up. Jordan Davis in the middle, taking up blockers. Like, how do you block that? Because Jordan Davis is so big, you have to at least put 2 guys on him. Then you got Khalil Mack, who normally takes double and triple teams. Then you got Joey Bosa, who makes what?
Yep, it's all in the plan.
And they signed Sebastian Joseph Day too. So
it's all in the plan.
That division is nuts. That division is just.
They're doing right by my boy Herbert.
I know I kind of want it. It's like, I don't know. I think the Chargers are probably the second or best team in the division. I think the moves they made probably combined with what they already had probably outweigh the Broncos getting Russell, but we'll see. Man, it's poor Raiders. The Raiders are just in the dumps.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Raiders, they re-signed Max Crosby to a 4-year, $98.98 million deal with $53 million guaranteed. Why they couldn't just do $100 million just, to make it look cooler? I don't know, but
every dollar counts.
Every dollar that
every
0.12.
Every dollar of this fake salary cap counts.
Unreal. But yeah, Max Crosby, he actually got re-signed on the same day that he sobered up.
Isn't there a prospect in the draft that people say reminds them of Max Crosby?
Let me think for a second.
Just maybe he's just way more technically sound at this point as a prospect than Crosby was when he came out.
And he also doesn't. I mean, Crosby had some off-field concerns that he switched up, but they were in his draft. So that's kind of a reason why he fell. But
interesting.
Interesting.
Moving on.
If you guys know what we're saying, then you're a real one.
Yep.
Then this one made me really sad. The Browns traded a 5th and a 6th for Amari Cooper and a 6th-round pick. So they traded a 5th for Amari Cooper because they just swapped 6th-round picks. Who cares about that?
Yeah,
they took the entire contract. Apparently, the Jags. It's rumored that the Jags offered more, but they didn't want to take the contract. I would have taken the contract, but whatever, I guess.
I'm okay with it now.
I'm still salty because I still want Amari Cooper, but
he'd have been cool, but I'm okay with it for now.
But yeah, so
listen, he's going to the Browns, who if they don't get Deshaun Watson,
he's going to be ruined by Baker.
No, Baker's probably going to be. Baker doesn't want to play there anymore. That letter to me that he put out is like, bro, y'all are effing around, and you don't believe in me, so F y'all. I want out.
So you think what's going to happen is you think they're going to choke.
He's going to be stuck in quarterback purgatory again.
You think they're going to choke not get Deshaun Watson like they're rumored to be in the conversation for, and then you're gonna see they're not gonna fall back to what they had. Baker's just gonna say, "Suck this, let me go elsewhere."
He's gonna do the Oklahoma nut grab to them like he did at Oklahoma, and he's like, "No, trade me."
He's gonna be a free agent.
I'm not playing here.
Isn't he a free agent like next year?
I think so.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But
I'm saying he's probably gonna tell them to fuck off.
Browns are gonna Brown.
I don't know who their quarterback would be at that point. Don't they have? Did they just sign? What's his name? Colt McCoy.
I thought he went back to Arizona.
Or who? I thought they had somebody as a backup.
They had.
I don't know, but I don't know what they're gonna do, bro. At this point, because if they don't get Watson, rip Amari Cooper.
Yeah, speaking of Watson, he got cleared of any criminal charges because there was not enough evidence. There's still the lawsuits and the civil cases, which that means the NFL can still suspend him, and they probably will suspend him for a couple of games at least because they've done it in the past for stuff that guys have gotten cleared of. So we'll see.
Prayers up to that team's PR staff that gets him.
Oh man, yeah, that's
because they're gonna be in hell.
That's gonna be a rough one. You know, Amy Palcic, you know how she had such a rough situation here with Urban Meyer, and she's already gone. Whatever team she goes to, they're gonna get Deshaun Watson just to make her life even worse.
Oh Lord, that's not nice.
It's like, how do you even PR for that? I don't know, but there's been a lot of teams.
Like, hey, bro, I didn't sign the motherfucker.
Apparently, the Falcons are a dark horse now.
It's funny. It's the Falcons, Saints, and Panthers. They're like all three in the same division, bro. That's the ultimate like high stakes poker game right there.
And then there's just the Browns just chilling there, just like.
I kind of hope he goes to the Falcons, man. It'd be kind of cool. I just know what they're going to do. And then people are thinking that Matt Ryan might get traded to the Colts.
Yeah, I think Matt Ryan would probably be the best quarterback they've had in a while.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I just don't know.
I feel like Matt Ryan's issue last year wasn't his physical play. It's the fact that he literally could not drop back for more than 5 seconds without getting clobbered.
Right. I don't think they would give up Kyle Pitts in the deal.
I don't either.
I think they'd give up Calvin Ridley, the rights to Calvin Ridley once he gets back after his year suspension, and then some picks, and then maybe a player on defense, but I don't know who.
If they got rid of Kyle Pitts, they would literally have nobody to throw to because they just lost Russell Gage to free agency. Like,
it'd be kind of pointless getting Deshaun Watson at that point.
Exactly. Deshaun Watson to Kyle Pitts injected into.
But I think they would trade Calvin Ridley though. He'll have his year. They would wait, because I mean he's going to come back in a year and still be a top 10 receiver. And then some picks, and then maybe a guy on defense. I just don't know who on defense yet. Maybe Grady Jarrett, maybe.
Kyle Pitts actually did the other day post on Instagram when Deshaun Watson got cleared of any criminal cases. He said something like, something that was, he's definitely on Deshaun Watson's side. Like, he just posted some, like, cryptic thing of, like, saying, like, the law will always shake out properly or something. I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Interesting. I've always heard the opposite.
I think I worded that really badly, but he basically said it worked out and that he's free. What's next? Other Cowboys receiver. Cowboys re-signed Michael Gallup to a 5-year, $62.5 million deal.
When we get to our deals, that will look like what's it called? Steal in hindsight. Well, I don't know, man. I'm a big Gallup guy. I thought that was a little too much, in my opinion.
That was a little pricey.
Yeah, because I mean,
they're paying him that coming off an ACL, but they won't. But they're upset at Amari Cooper and wanted to get rid of him for a 5th.
But I will say the one time that he was the 2, he did put 1,000 yards.
He's pretty good, man.
I like him, but I just don't know if I'm paying somebody a 5-year deal with all those guarantees and $72 million after they're coming off an ACL. I just don't know if I'm doing that.
Who knows? Cowboy's gonna cowboy. Jerry Jones.
I mean, that would be like us. That would be like us giving that deal to DJ Chark.
Speaking of DJ Chark, I don't have him in my notes, but he got a 1-year, $10 million deal from the Detroit Lions.
Which means I get to root for him still. I get to root for him still. Because I like the Lions. I almost said Cowboys. I like the Lions.
Yeah, that just kind of shows that because NFL Twitter and Jags fans had a much higher market for him than NFL teams did. I think they probably valued his effort in there because he had poor effort for like 2 years. They probably valued in the fact that he had minimal production 3 out of his 4 years.
Yeah, the rumor was we offered him a 1 year, $7 million deal.
Which
I think that's fair.
I think you can take it away with the fact that that's not really much of a price difference given Detroit versus.
Well, no, yeah, I was messing. I don't know how accurate it was, but I was messing with the tax difference because of state tax in Michigan versus state tax in Florida, which is 0, and like he's making 1.4 million more to go catch balls from Jared Goff in Detroit.
Yeah, living.
Is it really worth it?
Moving your entire family.
Is it really worth it?
Living in Detroit and catching passes from Jared Goff.
And I know he doesn't have to live in Detroit, but I mean, still, it's. I don't know. I don't know if. I feel like if I was, I would have just taken the Jaguars deal at that point. I mean, in my opinion, people are saying it was a low ball. I think it was a fair offer, in my opinion. Obviously, he wasn't.
About what I would have offered.
I don't think people were beating down the door for him if he went to Detroit for a 1 year, $10 million deal.
I got to tell you guys this: NFL teams don't care that 4 years ago he ran a 4.3 and a 6.4.
Yeah, they don't because that doesn't show up on tape.
Exactly, they care about what he's done since. This ain't the draft.
What's on the tape? What does the tape say?
Exactly.
The tape says he's a receiver who doesn't give effort 100% of the time, and that he doesn't run that fast on the field, and he does not do contested catches very well.
As Clay Harbor said, he's scared of contact.
He's scared of contact. He is not an X. I'm sorry. He just isn't.
He's like a 3.
He's a good 3. He could be a solid 2, but he's a really good 3.
Let's look at the Lions. The Lions receiving core is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Chark, and Quintez Cephas.
No, they got that other guy that they picked up in free agency. Remember in the middle of the year that they just re-signed? What's his name? He was from the Rams, then he went to the Titans.
Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds. So Josh Reynolds is probably their...
And Quintez Cephas.
Quintez Cephas, yeah. It's Didn't
they have Amendola too or something crap?
No, they didn't. That was the Texans. Remember?
That's right. That's right. He did cook us at like 32 years old. Unreal. Anyway.
Then he got hurt, disappeared for the rest of the season, came back, and cooked us again.
Yep. He's the one that cooked us in the playoff game with the Patriots.
Oh my gosh, of course. He hates us. He's
Danny Big Play Amendola. That's what they started calling him, Big Play Amendola. I was like, oh, shut up.
Oh my gosh. Next thing on the agenda is Eagles. They signed Hassan Reddick to a 3-year, $45 million deal with $30 million guaranteed.
He's going home. He played college ball at Temple.
Yep, he's super excited to go back there, and I'd be happy if I was an Eagles fan too.
Yep.
He actually,
even though he's a slightly undersized pass rusher.
Slightly undersized, but still.
I'd say slightly. He's actually very undersized. He's like 6'1", 235.
Are we talking Myjai Sanders?
Well, Myjai's taller.
I know. I was just throwing out a random undersized guy from this draft.
I don't know who is 6'1", 235 and getting sacks like that dude is. I don't know. Micah Parsons, maybe? How big is Micah Parsons?
Micah Parsons? Micah Parsons is pretty big. Micah Parsons.
I don't know anybody who's his size doing that.
Micah Parsons is 6'3", 245.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't know anybody who's 6'1", 235 getting double-digit sacks.
Putting up almost 25 sacks in like 2 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hope it works out for them.
I know. Hassan Reddick and who's the guy on the Bengals that was really good last year?
Trey Hendrickson?
Trey Hendrickson. Those are two guys that last year's free agency, people were saying they were overrated and that they were
I wanted Trey Hendrickson, but I didn't know if he would fit a 3-4. I don't think he does.
A lot of people thought they were just products of their surrounding and stuff, and then they both went up and absolutely blew the doors off. So,
yep.
This one pissed me off quite a bit. You guys will understand why.
Here we go.
You just watched last week's podcast, you'll understand why.
Here we go.
Tom Brady is back. His retirement didn't.
Yes, sir.
Not even 2 months. Baby.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. He's a bum.
He's a GOAT. He's the
Kyle
GOAT.
Trask clears.
Like I said, stop.
I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed. It was finally Kyle Trask's time, and this asshole just says, "Oh yeah, I can't do this retirement thing." It's like, are you kidding me?
It's the GOAT, man. He spent too much time at home with the kids and said, "Fuck this, I'm going back and play the football."
He baited the entire NFL into thinking he was actually gone.
He just wanted to see what would happen.
Like, are you kidding me? And then, of course, as everybody thought the Bucks were in the dumps, about to lose all these players and stuff, and then as soon as Tom Brady comes back, Ryan Jensen returns. Some other guys return. It's like, come on! And they just traded for Shaq Mason for a 5th.
And they just signed Russell Gage.
Yep.
Make it make sense.
How do you trade a 5th-round pick for Shaq Mason?
Bill Belichick says, if I give you Shaq Mason, it's like I won a Super Bowl too.
It's like, come on. Bill Belichick has got to be like the worst GM ever.
I don't know, man. I just, when we beat them in the Super Bowl, it won't matter.
I just don't understand how Bill Belichick, he's such a bad GM. The last year he got so much hype, but that was Dave Ziegler, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Because look, as soon as he's gone, Ziegler took over for 1 year. They had a great offseason. He leaves to the Raiders, and they're back to what they were before.
Oh, well.
Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time, yes, but he is an awful GM, and I will stand by that.
Good.
Yeah, I hate Tom Brady. I hate him even more. I hate him, and I hate him.
I love him. He's the greatest quarterback of all time, and he went to the University of
Manning clears.
Michigan. No, wrong.
Peyton Manning clears.
Peyton Manning gets his neck broke and can't play no more.
What? Classy.
That's what happened.
Classy.
He's a bitch. He's weak.
Classy.
Weak bones.
Classy.
TB12 method.
Classy. Oh my gosh. The Chargers continued to stack that division when they signed
Don't you ever
JC
say
Jackson.
a Colts quarterback is the best ever? How dare you?
Do what?
Don't ever say a Colts quarterback is the best ever. How dare you?
I'm saying what? He didn't play for the Colts. He played for the Broncos, bro. What are you talking
No,
about?
relax. Relax.
The Chargers signed J.C. Jackson to a 5-year, $82.5 million deal with $40 million in guarantees.
I thought he'd get more. I really did.
I don't know what it is. I guess he's always been undervalued by NFL teams.
Because Ramsey's is getting like 20 mil. I thought he was going to get close to that.
Yeah.
4-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Chandler Jones is finalizing a deal with the Raiders.
Unreal.
That division is going to be insane. Just got a tweet.
Division.
Tom Pelissero. Unreal, dude. AFC West is going to be popping.
That's just Max Crosby and Chandler Jones and Yannick Ngakoue.
He ain't got to move that far, does he?
Nope, he doesn't. Other teams are told this is in the $17 million range per year. Would you
17 mil? Fuck that. They can have that. The guy got 5 sacks in one game and then got 5 sacks in the 16 other games. I know he's probably still good, but I don't know if he's 17 million good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm thinking like I would have gave like 12 to 13 maybe per. 17? I mean, I don't really give a shit at the end of the day because it isn't my goddamn money, but it's a lot of money to give to somebody. I can see why we were probably out.
Yeah, and I wonder how many years it is.
We definitely don't have no 17 mil left.
I don't know. But yeah, that division is nuts. They added Khalil Mack, Russell Wilson, J.C. Jackson, and some other guys, all in the matter of like a week.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Adding Chandler Jones now, too. The Chiefs, I guess we'll go get into this. The Chiefs added Justin Reed, so Tyrann Mathieu out, Justin Reed in.
Justin Reed owns Josiah on Madden.
Oh my gosh.
You guys
Dude
know.
has like 20 interceptions on me in Madden. And I guarantee at least 5 or 6 of them are for touchdowns.
Yeah. He ain't that good in real life, though. He's good, but he ain't that good.
He got a 3-year, $31.5 million deal with $20 million in guarantees from the Chiefs. Tyrann Mathieu is still on the market. Speaking of safeties as well, Marcus Williams, a guy that I wanted, went to the Ravens for 5 years, $70 million.
I would not have paid that.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I'm not cheap either, but like I would not have paid that much money for that guy.
Ravens trying to bounce back next year.
Didn't Marcus May sign somewhere too?
Marcus May, he did sign somewhere. I don't have it in my notes because it was kind of a smaller deal.
Read the next one and I'll look it up.
Randy Gregory pulled a U-turn and he switched. It was reported that he was going to re-sign with the Cowboys, and then they tried to change. They tried to add some wording in the contract last second, and he said, I'm out of here. And he went for the exact same price, 5 years, $70 million, to Denver, where he can smoke it up.
Too much money for him, too. Dude had like 6 sacks last year.
Yeah.
He's never had more than 6.5 in a season.
He's one of those pressure guys that doesn't get many sacks.
Yeah. Former Jets safety Marcus May is signing with the Saints. I forgot Marcus. They replaced Marcus with Marcus.
Yeah.
On a 3-year, $28.5 million deal. $15 million guaranteed. A way cheaper Marcus.
I would have taken the cheaper Marcus.
Yep, I would have taken Marcus May.
Yeah. Tons of other stuff happened around the league, just too many for us to read off in one podcast, but that's all like the big moves that occurred. We do not have a Hidden Gems interview this week. We got hosed. So hopefully we'll get back to that next week, whenever we can get a guest again. If you guys have anybody you want to come on, tag them on Twitter, DM them, tell us whatever you want to do. Just tell us who you want to get on. So, and we'll give it an attempt. Now it's time to talk Jaguars.
Joe Flacco back to the Jets on a 1-year, $3.5 million deal.
Alrighty then.
Sources: Raiders pass rusher Yannick Ngakoue is expected to be traded to the Colts in a deal that includes cornerback Rock Ya-Sin. So Yannick Ngakoue is coming back to the South, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. He's gonna get owned by Walker Little, baby.
I was literally typing a tweet that says he's gonna get stoned by Walker Little. Like, look, I was literally Ngakoue about to get.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh, the Colts actually did something, bro. Who would you rather have on your team, Yannick Ngakoue or Rock Ya-Sin?
Yannick Ngakoue.
I wonder what the Colts sent.
I would at Yannick Ngakoue, but I'm pretty sure he blocked me on Twitter.
He blocked like every Jags fan at this point.
I would have grabbed Yannick Ngakoue over Rock Ya-Sin. I would not gonna no cap. Quiddy Pay, DeForest Buckner, and Yannick Ngakoue is gonna be a sick ass defensive line.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good.
For us to have to block.
Brandon Scherff is gonna own what's
DeForest
his name? Buckner. Cam is gonna own Pay, and Walker Little is gonna own Ngakoue.
Yep, sounds about right.
No sacks. Trevor Lawrence is gonna throw for 6 touchdowns next time.
I don't know who their other D tackle is, but he's probably mid. So.
Yeah, I don't remember who he is. I guess we could. Breaking news while we're recording the podcast. We actually appreciate that for not happening 5 minutes after.
Right.
The Jaguars. So first thing, we re-signed linebacker Tyrell Adams.
We did.
Yep, we did. Jaguars.
I don't know who that is. Oh shit. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's just he used to play for the Raiders. He was like a special teams guy, I guess. We signed offensive line Brandon Murphy. We signed a guy from a TV show, from a movie.
Mid. He won't make the final roster.
He won't, but we really are the team to give a guy who's he played football like 1 year in college. He played basketball most of it. He played an offensive lineman role in a movie, and that got him signed onto the Jaguars.
It was a Kurt Warner movie.
Kurt Warner. He played an offensive lineman in
He played Orlando Pace, bro.
Orlando Pace. Thank you for
respect.
telling me.
Put some respect on his name.
He better he better play better than Orlando Pace. Otherwise,
nah, he ain't gonna make the roster, bro. It ain't that big of a deal. People just like bitching about everything.
It's
not you,
funny,
like people
though.
on Twitter.
He really acted in a movie and got an NFL deal because of it. Come on.
They said, "Dang, look at those pass sets."
We cut Carlos Hyde. Clap it up.
Yeah,
we finally did it.
Balky masterclass. It begins.
And okay, so we cut Carlos Hyde. He's finally gone. Good riddance. I'll let Sean let you guys know the first move we made of official free agency. Well, not official free agency. The first move of the 2-day period. What's it called? Tampering period.
Tampering period?
The first Jaguars move of the tampering period was this.
They sent a tender to Andrew Wingard.
He's back, baby!
Right of first refusal. So if someone wants to sign him, I guess they have to give us a pick or something.
They give us a pick, and
that ain't gonna happen.
We can match whatever offer as well.
That ain't gonna happen, bro.
So Wingard's back, baby.
Woo! Woo! Let's go.
Didn't you have a bet with Brian back when he was on the podcast if he came back, or was that for? No, that was for him starting.
I have no idea.
Somebody in our Twitter group chat made a bet. Gordo, I don't know if you're listening to this. He made a bet with another person in the group chat that if we re-signed Wingard or did anything to bring him back, he'd buy him a jersey. So somebody in our group chat is about to purchase a Andrew Wingard jersey.
Andrew Wingard's the GOAT.
It's funny seeing the Jags fans were up in arms about that move because it was our first move.
Dude, he's gonna be a depth safety / special teamer. Who cares, bro? Who cares?
And then the first actual signing we did was we signed guard Brandon Scherff to a 3-year, $49.5 million deal with $30 million in guarantees. Most of that money is in the first 2 years. It's a front-loaded deal.
Worth it.
I know. We got him. We got our guy.
He's just got to stay healthy. That's the only thing.
He's got to stay healthy. Even when
he's missed 22 games in the last 2 years.
And he still got an All-Pro and a Pro Bowl in that time, and 2 Pro Bowls. It's like he's so good that he can miss a quarter of the season and still
half the season and be aight.
He can miss half the season and still make it All-Pro. Like, come on,
ridiculous. But yeah, I'm glad we got him.
Then I think every Jags fan was excited for that. I remember when I saw the news happened, I just started.
I didn't believe it.
I was spamming random letters to the group chat.
Actually, I did believe it because I knew it was going to happen once the Jets signed Laken Tomlinson, I believe. Right?
We signed Scherff first.
No, someone signed a guard before we signed him.
It was Kappa.
Well, then when he was gone, he went. Where did he go?
Bengals. He was the first move of the Tampa.
When he went, because the Bengals were also in on Scherff, and once he was gone, that's what it was. Yeah, because I don't think the Jets. I don't think I heard the Jets' name associated with him, but it was the Bengals.
It was
and us.
the Jets, Bengals, and Jaguars were rumored to be the top 3 for Brandon Scherff.
Well, then they took Kappa, and I was like, well, I could have swore the Jets took the jersey first.
No, Laken Tomlinson came out later in the day.
Oh, he must have been like, well, I guess they got him, so we'll get the next best guy.
Yep.
But yeah, we got the number 1 offensive lineman in free agency.
So you're taking him
Numero
over.
uno.
You're taking him over Teron?
Yeah. Who's the one with who's the 5-time Pro Bowler with all the All Pros?
It's true. It's true.
Just saying. Teron also doesn't play all year.
I was just so excited when I saw we got Brandon Scherff because it's like last year in free agency we signed people that were like just. Like,
we signed Philip Dorsett. He didn't even make the roster. That was a first day move.
Carlos Hyde and Philip Dorsett were our first day moves last year.
And Phil Dorsett didn't make the roster. That's.
It's just the thing is, last year we had to watch all the guys we wanted get signed elsewhere.
Patriots.
So seeing us sign somebody that we actually wanted,
like half the guys that I wanted got signed by the Patriots. So
another guy that Sean and I both wanted for the longest time, like I don't think anybody wanted them longer than us, is we signed middle linebacker Foyesade Oluokun.
Woo!
For 3 years, $45 million with $28 million guaranteed. Let's clap it up, Jaguars!
But then what did we do?
Then we signed defensive tackle Foley Fatukasi to a 3-year, $30 million deal, $20 million guaranteed. Clap it up, Jaguars!
He is the only one that has not had the contract breakdown being released yet. So I'm kind of worried about that one a little bit. He's got an hour and a half to pull out on us. So I'm kind of.
I think we're gonna get him, but
I think we are too. It's just weird that every other person that we signed, because he was a day one early in the day, agreed to terms, and everyone else
Foyesade were around. Him and Foyesade came out like at the same time to a point where I was like, did they just misspell Foyesade's name?
Right. So like everybody that we've signed, besides the guy we signed today, who we'll get to, has had their contract, structure come out for each year what their salary is going to be, except to him. And when you go on overthecap.com or in Spotrac and all those websites, he's a $0 says his name and $0 next to it.
I think we'll be fine, but if there is
anybody
to pull out,
not worried, but it's just I'd feel better if the contract details came out.
But he's really good. I guess before we continue, Foyesade is really good in coverage. He led the league in tackles. He makes plays, so I'm really excited for him.
When I said but then what did we do? I meant for you to say who we let go, not who we signed next.
I guess I'll mention that now. We cut Miles Jack.
I was shocked, but not in a oh my god, what the hell are you doing kind of way. Just in like, oh, I didn't really think they would do that kind of way.
We were thinking it would be a thing next year to worry about.
Yeah, I thought they would let him play it out with Mike Caldwell because Mike Caldwell came in and first thing he did was call Miles Jack, and Miles Jack was supposedly so excited to play, and now he's just gone.
I mean, people got to understand, and Jags fans actually understand this. It's the NFL who doesn't.
I was surprised.
Jack was
I was surprised that
the
Jags fans took it so well. I was surprised.
Everybody except for,
a couple people.
Yeah.
He's a god.
I was gonna say he's a god. Show him some respect, Sean.
Oh, he's a really good. Not really good. He's a good 4-3 will linebacker. I'll say that.
To me, he was awful last year, but he's got potential. Like if he plays like he did in 2020, if he's in a good situation with a good scheme and a good defensive coordinator, he can be pretty good. But he was really expensive. He freed up $8 point something million this year, 13 next year. So I guess I personally wanted to give him the year to see if he could rebound, but I'm also not upset because of the money. I do understand it, and he was awful last year.
Jeez, I'm getting all these tweets, but nothing else has happened. Because I have my notifications on for Garofolo and Rappaport and the gang. So
the Rams are working to bring back Von Miller.
I figured they would. Anyway, so yeah, so Foyesade Oluokun, he led the NFL in tackles.
He led the NFL in tackles by like 20.
He's a way more dynamic playmaker over his time than Miles Jack is. He has more splash plays for sure.
He has more splash plays. He's better in coverage, in my opinion.
Yes.
And
he's faster.
Also he's faster.
Dude runs a 4.48 at the combine, so
unreal. He ran with Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, he has. There's a video of him running a stride for stride with Mecole Hardman, who ran like a 4.3. I'm pretty sure.
I'm excited for Foyesade for Oluokun. Like,
yeah,
he's been a guy that I didn't necessarily have him on my want list, but he was like a guy that I secretly, like, deep down, I was like, I want him. He'd be really cool to have.
Yeah, I literally tweeted the day, like a couple hours before the stuff was supposed to kick off. I was like, Foyesade Oluokun would be a really good under the radar signing for the Jaguars. And like, then they just did it. I was like, bruh.
It's amazing. Like, I have him in my Madden league. Like, I wanted him before that, but I signed him in our Madden franchise.
Cause he's really good.
And he balls for me, man. He balls. Like,
and he's really good. I'm wondering who they're gonna pair him with in the middle. I don't know if they think a lot of Dylan Moses. I don't like the idea of Shaq Quarterman starting just because he's not very fast or athletic. He's just more of like your thumper guy.
Yeah, he's a thumper guy.
I want a guy who can do both. Give me a guy who can do both. So, like, if Dylan Moses is back to his sophomore year at Alabama, I'll be cool with that.
Two names to watch, in my opinion, in the draft are Chad Muma and Troy Anderson.
If not, give me a linebacker in the draft. Like, if Nakobe Dean falls to 33, bruh.
Nakobe Dean's pretty good too. He, for some reason, does not want to test. Like, he did not run or do anything at the combine. He didn't do it today.
He said, I don't need to. He said, what the tape say? I saw him hawk down projected 4.3 running Blake Corum behind the line of scrimmage on a swing pass or a screen pass. He ran. They started over here, and he ran this way behind the line. He missiled and got his ass. I do not think he runs slow.
You did it in a mock draft as well earlier, and it's a name that I've really been interested in. Or maybe in the late third, fourth round, picking up a high upside guy in Channing Tyndall.
He's really athletic. He's a freak.
Channing Tyndall is a freak. He shows it on tape. He didn't play as much because Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean were the starters. But when he got on there, he has that sideline-to-sideline speed. He's good in coverage. Like, all three of those linebackers are going to be good at the next level.
My only thing with him and Nakobe Dean, to be honest, is if we do get them and put them in the middle, we are going to have a very undersized inside linebacking core. Because Foyesade Oluokun is not big. And Tyndall, I think he clocked in at like 6'1", 228, or something like that.
I think Quay Walker was the one of the three.
Quay Walker is the one who I think is like 240.
Like
I think
6'4".
Yeah, he's like 240. And Nakobe Dean is not very big either.
Nakobe Dean, that's one of his concerns, is that he's like 6 foot.
Yeah, I think Channing Tyndall's like 6 foot, 6'1".
6'2", 230.
That's what that was official from the combine or what?
That's what ESPN says.
ESPN is dog shit.
Let me look at Pro Football Network, which updates based off of the combine. 6'1" and 5/8", 223.
Yeah, like I said, he's tiny. He's like thumper safety size. That's my only concern with those two. I personally would love to get Chad Muma,
Troy
Anderson.
I'm a huge fan of Troy Anderson.
Leo Chenal is another guy that I like.
Leo Chenal, he's super good in coverage.
So either of those three, I'd be, bro. Be feeling like 2017 again, baby.
There's
that
just
defense.
so many things we can do.
I know everybody wants to go wide receiver at 33, but dude, I'm like, I don't want to pick Muma at 33 because I think that's a little bit too.
That's a reach
early.
in my opinion. Yeah,
it's a little too early. I do think he's a mid to late second round pick though.
I have him.
So
I think in the second as well.
So I'm saying he's a mid to late guy for me. So 33 is a little too early, but he ain't gonna get to 65. So if you like him that much, if he turns out to be, I don't know who's a really good. If he's the next Bobby Wagner, like
Logan Wilson,
it's worth 33 to me.
Yeah,
if that's what you think you're getting, that's worth the pick to me. I can see how the fans would be like, "Ooh, we didn't get Jahan Dotson was right there." Cares, bro, cares.
If George Pickens is there, make him a Jaguar, though.
Well, yeah, that's different. But
just had to clear that up.
I just feel like we have enough. I say we have enough. We have one guy, Christian Kirk. But like Sky Moore and Jahan Dotson, they are very similar in style to Christian Kirk, in my opinion.
Yeah, Sky is a slot. Yeah.
So I kind of want like a Pickens to style receiver. So if he's there, then yeah, for sure, I'm sprinting to the podium. But if not, I might reach a tiny bit if you think it's a reach on a Chad Muma. Because, like, dude, your defense is set at that point. You have a weakness at strong safety probably, and maybe one of your D-line spots. It depends on how Robert Robertson-Harris plays this year. He's my one question mark on the D-line. Well, honestly, Hamilton's a question mark to me too because he kind of
inconsistent
a little bit. He had some sucky moments last year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Who was that center? Who was that team we played? Who's that team we played? There was a team we played that had a small center.
Titans.
Is that who it is?
Remember?
Yeah. Their center is Matt.
We talked about it on the podcast last year. Him getting stoned.
Matt Hennessy is tiny, bro. He's like 6 foot. He might be like 6 foot something, under 300 pounds, and he was bodying Devon Hamilton, bro. Like bodying this dude. Like what in the hell? You're 6'4", 3. He's like 6'4", 325, bro. What are you doing? So he needs to if he doesn't get his shit together,
it's funny because
Fatukasi's taking his spot, and we're gonna get another D tackle.
Foley is super exciting. That Jets defensive line was really stacked.
What I would like to do is put Fatukasi at nose, draft Devontae Wyatt, make him play the D tackle spot.
If Devontae Wyatt is there at 33, forget everything.
Bro, that pick's coming in at 1 second. Ding, diddling, ding, ding, ding.
He's my number 6. He's my 16th best player in the entire draft.
There's no way, bro. It's no way. He killed the combine too much.
And he just killed his pro day too.
Yeah, it's no way. Anyway, go back.
There at 33.
We're getting off the rails.
If he's there at 33, I'm driving to wherever the draft is and putting the card in for them.
We're getting off the rails here. We're going to draft talk. Get back to our signings. So we said Foley Fatukasi.
3 years, $30 million, $20 million guaranteed.
Fatukasi, I think he's like 26.
Yeah, he's really good.
And he was a captain for the Jets.
He was a captain. He was on a list of defensive tackles that had 15 rush stops and pressures, I think.
15 run stops, and he had 15 QB pressures.
He
has pass rush upside.
He's really good as a run defender, and he's actually kind of sneaky good as a pass rusher. So
yeah, he's got pass rush upside still. I think he could develop it a little bit more.
And he'll probably get more reps here than he did with the Jets, just because of how stacked their D line was. They had Quinnen Williams, they had Franklin Myers, they had all these other guys. So.
Yeah, Fatukasi, and then just
kind of unreal.
A lot of guys.
Then we signed. This one's the one that broke the internet. We signed wide receiver Christian Kirk to a 4-year, $72 million deal worth up to $84 million. I'll let Sean explain the specifics because the specifics matter.
Well, so the specifics are he signed. What was his? Do you have? I don't know if you have in there what his signing bonus was.
I'll look real quick.
It was a pretty hefty signing bonus. I think it was like 20 million.
He's got a $20 million signing bonus, $37 million fully guaranteed.
Yeah, so he's $20 million signing bonus, which a signing bonus that I read about it is spread out over the length of the contract. So what that means, and the way they structured it is they have it kind of like staggered a little bit, and so his salary for the season is $1.5 million, but the $5 million of the signing bonus is on that as well. So his cap hit is $6.5 million for this year, which is not a lot. But next year, his cap hit is $21 million.
He's getting $39 million over the first 2 years, and there's not a single dollar guaranteed
after that.
After the first 2 years, so it's basically a 2-year, $39 million contract.
Yes,
that they can continue on if they like him, or they could cut their ties and say goodbye.
Exactly. So if he ends up playing past those 2 years, that means he was worth it. If not, I mean, oh well, you tried.
Exactly.
I think he's an ascending player. I think he's only going to do better if he's in a feature role.
25. He's coming off a career year
where he stepped up big time whenever Hopkins was out. Mind you, he was still probably the third option on that team going down the stretch, maybe the fourth option, third or fourth option down the stretch. Except for when Hopkins was out, he was essentially the 2 at that time. He almost had 1,000 yards. He had 77 catches out of the slot. I mean, he's like what we wish Chenault was.
Yeah, he's a really good deep threat. He's fast. Like, he gets open deep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for. I want to see Trevor throw a bomb up to this dude.
Me too. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, there's Christian Kirk, our first receiver signing. That's the one that just really broke the receiver market. Like,
yeah, because someone said that people were expecting him to get around the 8 to 11 million per. I was like,
like 18.
That'd have been great, but it's not how it works.
Then we signed tight end Evan Ingram to a 1-year, $9 million deal worth up to $10 million.
Basically, a 1-year prove it deal.
It's a 1-year prove it deal with a guy who's got high upside.
An ultra athletic guy who's
he's better than
issue.
Chauncey.
Really, yeah. His only real issue is he sometimes has trouble catching the ball.
His hands might be the worst thing I've ever seen from our tight end in recent memory.
If he could fix that.
He caused like 4 interceptions last year.
His rookie year wasn't that bad.
He's one of those guys who, coming out of the draft, everybody thought he was going to be super good.
Dude, he destroyed the combine. Dude ran a 4.42 and I don't think he dropped the ball in the gauntlet drill.
I don't know what happened. Hopefully,
his rookie year was really good. He had like 700 yards his rookie season.
I'm hoping the change of scenery fixes him up.
Me too. Maybe just Daniel Jones throws a shitty ball.
Maybe.
I mean, look at Tony and Galladay. They had bad stuff too.
True. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of hyped for that one. I hope that one pans out. I'm really
excited for it just because of the upside it has and the low risk
it
has.
Yeah.
Then we signed another receiver, Zay Jones, to a 3-year, $24 million deal, which is basically before. I know people think it's an overpay, but you got to compare it to Cedric Wilson, who got paid similarly earlier in the day. And they were both like wide receiver 4/3s wherever they're going. So
I actually like this. I was kind of confused at first about this one, but the more I looked in, the more I looked into his like tape and how he is as a person and shit like that, like dude's actually like low key a pretty good route runner, and he's got pretty reliable hands too. Like
he had to play with Derek Carr.
It seems like I actually like Derek Carr, so I'm gonna let you have your
fun with that moment.
Yeah, but he was actually like it seemed from what I was looking at, he was like. Derek Carr seemed to like lock in on him on third downs. Like move the chains. Hey, third down. We need a guy to
like
catch this ball.
2 game-winning touchdowns last year.
Because there's even I was looking at plays on Twitter. People had cut ups where like he tried forcing it to Zay Jones on third down, like stupidly. Like Derek Carr shouldn't have done that. He had another guy wide open, but he would throw it to Zay Jones anyway. I'm like, damn, dude. Like I get it, but like throw to the open guy. Like if you think that much of Zay Jones, and Derek Carr thinks the world of Zay Jones. He said, what did he say? He said. I tell him I call him up. Hey, let's go throw. He's there 6 a.m. Never miss a day. Let's go throw. Let's go run these routes. He said he's the hardest working guy on the team, so I'm all about that.
The Cardinals are bringing back Max Williams, tight end. Long snapper got signed. The Pro Bowl long snapper for the Chargers got signed to the Falcons.
Interesting.
A 4-year, $5.6 million deal for a long snapper.
Interesting.
We talked about releasing Miles Jack already. We extended Terry Godwin. He somehow survives. I have no idea how this guy is still on the roster. And not saying that's nothing against him. I'm just saying everything that's happened. I have no idea how he's still here, but
I must see something in him, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, he looked decent in the one game he played for us 2 years ago.
Did he have like back-to-back catches?
Yeah, and they were deep too. They were deep balls.
Interesting.
They were underthrown deep balls, should I reference, if you know who the quarterback was.
Yeah.
Then the final Jags news is that today, as we record this, like the day that we're recording this and posting it, we signed cornerback Darius Williams to a 3-year, $30 million deal with $18 million guaranteed. So, first thing I will say is I'm just going to ask a couple questions, rhetorical questions that we can talk about in the coming minutes. First question that arises for me is, who is going to play the nickel? Because
him.
Probably him. I'm just saying, because all the corners that we have played outside.
Looking at,
he's got the best physical projection.
Well, I was saying, looking at our corners is short area quickness traits, i.e., like 3-cone drill.
Yeah.
This is the best one by far.
He definitely seems like the best projection, in my opinion.
I think they'll rotate it depending on wide receiver matchup. Like if someone in the slot is like a big dude, they might put Shaq Griffin in there. If it's a smaller guy who's short area quickness kind of guy, like a Christian Kirk, they'll probably put Darius Williams in there.
Yeah, that'd probably be the smartest thing to do. Just keep Tyson Campbell on the outside, please.
Yes, I do not put Tyson in the slot. I've seen people on there like, oh, Tyson, he could go to the slot. I'm like, dude, do you remember the beginning of the season and preseason when he sucked ass in the slot and they traded CJ Henderson because of it?
People it's just like when you say moving an offensive tackle who's not good to guard. People treat the slot like it's just an easier version of outside corner.
It's not. It's a whole different thing.
Exactly. It's like just because somebody can't play left tackle doesn't mean they can play left guard.
Or just because someone is really good at left tackle doesn't mean they'll be really good at right tackle.
Exactly. Just because somebody's good at outside corner does not mean they're good at inside corner, and it's just because somebody's not good at outside. Like I remember a lot of people last year, they thought maybe Tyson would be better at nickel because he struggled outside, or people are thinking maybe he'll be better now at inside because he's already good outside. It's like it doesn't work that way.
Dude is borderline elite down the stretch at outside corner. Why the hell would you ever move him?
And he was absolute buns inside.
Don't move him. Leave him where he's at. Let Shaq and Darius Williams rotate inside depending on matchup.
Yeah, my final take on Darius Williams is he was super, super good in 2020. He was mid in 2021. If you can get the 2020 Darius Williams, amazing signing. If you get the 2021 Darius Williams, it's a bit.
I mean, it's 3 years, $30 million, right?
Yeah, 3 years, $30 million. Only 18.
He's a hometown kid.
He took less for the Jaguars. He took less money to be a Jaguar.
Yeah, apparently he had offers worth more money. He wanted to come play in Duval. So, hope he balls out because of that.
Yes, sir. I think I like the signing, but I'm not like crazy high on it either, just because I don't know how it'll turn out. It's the biggest question mark signing in my opinion with how it ends up, how it fits. So that's all the Jags news. Now we got one viewer question from guess who?
Patrick?
Yep, the GOAT. Every week.
Every week. Loyalty. The Jets are giving quarterback Mike White the original round tender.
So they're keeping Mike White and they're keeping 3 quarterbacks.
And Flacco. And they got Zach Wilson. Yep.
I feel like this question's more targeted at me, but question about your draft top 100. How do you rank between the positions? Seems difficult to choose between an edge and a wide receiver because the skill sets are so different. To be honest, I don't factor in positional value because that's why quarterbacks are so low on mine. I really just look at it like, who do I think is better? Who I just think is, it's hard to compare them. It's like, for example, if I look at, say, Let me look. I'll look at my article right now. I have Alec Pierce at 87 and Isaiah Spiller at 86. One's a running back, one's a receiver. I have Isaiah Spiller higher just because I think Isaiah Spiller is a better player, even though they're different positions. It's hard to explain.
One way you could do it is think if you were the GM of a team and you had a big hole at running back and a big hole at wide receiver.
Which guy would you take?
Spiller there and Pierce there. Which guy do you take? If you take Spiller, Spiller's better. That's why you're picking him.
That's a good way to word what I was saying. So
yeah,
appreciate that.
Me, I don't do top 100. I don't do my 100 best players lists. I just keep it all in the noggin.
He just talks ball on the podcast.
Let's talk ball on the podcast, and I can let you know. You can give me 2 players. I can tell you which one I think is better than the other one.
Pretty much. Speaking of, if you guys haven't already, go read my top 100. Appreciate that. But yeah, that's all for the podcast this week. Hope you guys did enjoy. We'll be back next week for some more free agency talk. And actually, I think
deals become final in less than or a little over an hour.
An hour and 8 minutes. And
then at 4:30, the Jaguars are having on their social media pages, they're having free agency coverage.
Here's a great nugget from this week. Wide receiver Russell Gage was debating where to sign. He had a few choices. He got a call from Tom Brady one day after returning to the team. Brady told Gage that they're building something special and he's been a fan of his game. And that's when Russell Gage said, sign me up.
Dude, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
What?
The Seth Walder guy. If the Jaguars felt they had too much cap space to spend efficiently, one option could have been to try to trade for Sam Darnold's contract and receive a pick as compensation to take it on. No! What are you talking about?
What?
We spent our money efficiently. These guys are so stupid. All they see is the face value. They see X years, X amount of dollars. They don't see the contract breakdown, man. They're so fucking dumb. You get a check mark for no fucking reason nowadays.
That was the most unreal statement. Why Jaguars just
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold's contract. What?
Maybe they'll give us a pick for it. Are you fucking kidding me?
What? That might be the dumbest take. I've seen some dumb takes recently, but geez, that might take the cake.
That might have been his point. Apparently he's saying since we spent our money inefficiently, maybe we should have just done that.
You know my thing, I know we were about to end the podcast, but I'll just say this. Last year, the Patriots spent money on literally everybody. They overpaid a ton of guys.
And they got praised for it.
But Bill Belichick is a genius. But when the Jags do it, it's Jags gonna jag.
It's because Trent Baalke's got a bad rep around the league. Everybody hates Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke fucked up the wide receiver market. So now, you know what? Team Trent Baalke. I don't care.
Apparently, Devontae Adams declined a $23 million per year contract.
Because of Christian Kirk's deal.
Yep.
Good. Screw you, Packers, and screw you, Aaron!
Oh my gosh. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We'll be back next week to talk more free agency, and I think we're going to have our first mock draft next week, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to follow our Twitters. Mine is above my head, Sean's is above his head, and the podcast is below us. Follow all that. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.